Okay, there we go. So you should have gotten that notification that we're recording today's session. So you're returning back for our Leaders Edge training where we have been focusing for the month of January, and we'll be going into February as well, on some different ways to sort of maybe push your mindset on how you can generate wealth, how you can earn income in and around the business of real estate. We've talked about revenue share. I'll show you the list here. We talked about revenues and a number of certification opportunities to sort of expand your tool belt and pick up some new offerings, get new clients. Today, interestingly enough, I think it's one of the few times where I'm seeing a whole lot of maybe overlap or connection between the mastermind that Chris, Christian, and Jean held yesterday and our conversation today about building your personal referral network. So you will see a lot of sort of repeating themes, but what I'm going to do today, maybe more from a training standpoint, as opposed to sort of that collaborative standpoint, is I'm going to give you maybe some action points, like very specific things that you might want to think about adding to your sort of purposeful intention in building out your opportunity to grow clients. Okay. And then just a quick mention for the month of February, we're going to be pivoting and really diving into the investor space. We're going to start with learning the investor language next week, and we're going to have guests that will take us through. We have team leaders from both some of the South Jersey teams, the Central Jersey teams, all coming with their expertise where they have proven success in the investor space, either helping investor clients or serving as investors themselves. And we're fortunate enough that they are going to come and share their best practices with you over the course of the month of February. So expect to see more information on that. But so for today, what we really want to focus on is the power of a referral network. And just for a moment, think about, what the panel was talking about yesterday was really around taking your sphere of influence and monetizing it. Don't just put those names in a database and let them sit there. You need to be working on your communication with them. But let's expand that mindset just a little bit and think beyond just what's in your sphere and recognize that you have the ability to not only get referrals from clients and from those people in your sphere, but you do have the opportunity to get referrals from other professionals and from other agents. So you should be looking at all of those relationships as the potential for a referral, and also understand and be cognizant of the fact that referrals are not just about you receiving them, but they're about you giving referrals as well. That's super important because I think too often you might find yourself, or maybe you're not even fully recognizing that there's an opportunity to receive a referral from an outside source because you right away say, that's not an area that I service. I'm not in the Monmouth County market. I'm in the Middlesex County market. So maybe you turn down a lead from a lender or another professional. Well, what I'm saying to you here is remove that barrier. Think about how you can leverage that incoming referral to you. And rather than respond with a no, respond with a yes, I can help with that. I work with agents that service that area. And now put yourself in a position to refer that business to another agent within the EXP network and get a referral. So you're trying to eliminate sort of that no mindset and open up the possibility that could be a monetizing event for you. Okay, so we'll talk about some strategies around that. So let's start with probably the most obvious, right? Which is, again, building on what the gentlemen were talking about yesterday, which, by the way, I need to up my game and I'm working on it. Okay, I'm going to have some pretty swanky digs too. It's just going to take me a couple of weeks to get there, but I'm working on it. But so let's talk about client referrals. And again, yesterday you heard about the importance of working that sphere, contacting your people and asking, give value, and then ask for the referral. So now let's take a look at some of the things. I'm giving you very specific ideas. And I would love if anybody has any thoughts or ideas of your own that you want to build on this, but let's go through these. So think about your newsletter. We've talked about building a newsletter in KV Core, something that you want to do consistently with some regularity, right? So whether you commit to it quarterly, you commit to it monthly, but there's opportunity to specifically include a request for referrals within your newsletter. Okay, so if you are utilizing the newsletter in any way, make sure that it shouldn't just be a tagline at the end of your signature, on your newsletter. It should be an actual action item in your newsletter. Put a button, insert a button that can refer a friend, where you can take a person to a link, to a landing page, to your personal website, or they can email you. To leverage the button, create an action item around securing a referral. Okay. Let's talk about email campaigns. Email campaigns, again, if you are using KV Core, if you are reaching out to your sphere through email on a consistent basis, don't just leave that "I value your referrals" as your tagline. Make it an action item. When you're using email, there are a couple of really great resources out there, and we've talked a little bit about it with some of the campaigns that we've built specifically on my team. There are, I think Investopedia is a really good one. A lot of free articles that are very useful to clients, to home buyers, home sellers, to home owners, about certain aspects of home ownership, whether you're just trying to help them understand the mortgage process, or, what PMI means, or maybe good ideas for house cleaning. Investopedia has a ton of great content for homeowners. So if you're using email campaigns to stay in touch with your sphere, why not include verbiage in your email that encourages your friends, your family, to share that content with other people? That if they found it valuable, share it with someone else, gain traction in the value that you are providing. Okay. So again, don't just leave your request for a referral as a tagline buried at the bottom of the email. Another thing is, if you're using the blog on your website, another place to actively ask for referrals. Okay. Make a point of asking. And then let's talk about social media. I know, particularly with my kids, that there's all these like crazy challenges, right, on social media. The latest one that I saw is the dinner dump challenge. I don't know if I refuse to try this, but it honestly, it freaked me out a little bit. But you just put the tablecloth on the table and you literally just start dumping the food in the middle of the table. So I stood there horrified, watching a mother dump her spaghetti and her meatballs. And then she sprinkled the cheese all over the table. And I'm like, oh, I wanted to go and fold up the tablecloth and throw it away. But the idea is that what happened in that moment, I was horrified, but the content evoked a reaction from me. And that's what you're looking for. So why not create a challenge of your own, or a contest of your own? The first 5 of my friends put something on Facebook. First 5 of you to refer me to another person are going to get a gift card from me, and just make it something fun. But again, what are you doing in that effort, in that referral effort? You are encouraging action. So it's not just saying, I value referrals. You are now calling someone to action, to actually, let me think about that for a minute. I want that $10 Starbucks card. Who can I refer Rochelle to? Or Inez, I know I must have a buyer or a seller, somebody who might be interested in hearing more from you. I want my coffee card. Okay. So again, just taking what you were hearing yesterday and reinforcing that idea, and now being purposeful in your communications. That's with clients. Go ahead, Rochelle, jump in.
Good morning. So I have a question. Speaking of coffee card and Starbucks, I couldn't go on yesterday. I was listening though. And it's so funny because I definitely feel different agents have different perspectives, but I would have liked to have known their thoughts as well. Have you ever heard of the book Perk Your Sphere?
What is it?
It's called Perk Your Sphere. Perk Your Sphere.
No.
So I just read it the other day. And it's interesting because it's exactly what you were talking about regarding like rewarding people with a coffee card or a Starbucks card. So oh no, I read it once about a year ago and then I reread it again. At first I thought, this is tacky. I don't think I can do this. And then I reread it again. You know, it's amazing how like things change with your, I guess, your perception as time goes on or whatever. But the other day I reread it and I was thinking, you know what? I should just go for it. And, you know, if people want to do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. So basically the whole premise is you take your group of there's like kind of what we've been talking about all along, 3 different categories, like your A, your B, your C. So in other words, everybody in my C category would be people that I've sold to or have referred to me. And then they would be included in this monthly giveaway. And it's like a first come, first serve, kind of like we were saying, the first 5 people that, email me back, then you're going to get something, whatever. And then the next level would be my, I don't know how they broke it down. It was like MVPs and all stars. It was like some kind of, I guess it's baseball analogy. You might know what that is, right? Your kids are sporty. Your kids are sporty. Yeah. So I broke mine down into like more theatrical, I guess, like shining stars, superstars, and all stars.
Nice.
I haven't pushed the button yet on it because I don't know. Again, so the first group gets that opportunity every month to get, I don't know, gift certificate to someplace. Then the next group, anybody that's referred me once, within the past, couple weeks or months or whatever, they're going to get a gift card, a Starbucks gift card, and you load that gift card for them for like $10 for every month for the next 6 months. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then if you refer again, you would get an additional 6 months. And then the all-star layer would be like the people who like are your raving fans that that they're going to do anything for you. You would take them to like a special dinner or a special I don't know, box seats at a baseball game or something like that. So client events, everybody would be a part of your client events, but just like the creme de la creme gets the extra, hockey tickets or whatever.
Primo gift.
I wish you read it. Yeah, because read it when you can. It's a skinny little book.
I will.
Again, I don't know. Do people really, do they think that's tacky, or do they think, I have a whole letter, the letter's ready to go out, but I haven't pushed the button. I don't know. I'm just a chicken. I've never really been one to ask for referrals. Everybody thinks I'm nice and, oh, Rochelle's so great and she's a good realtor, blah, blah, blah. But I never go out there for the jugular and say, I even have these little tiny refer whatever button, people refer me. Thank you for your referrals. Haven't sent them until this week because I've always been so like, I don't know. It's a mental thing, but you know what? This year's changing.
I appreciate that you're willing to step out of your comfort zone. I will definitely read that book, Rochelle. And I think it's number 1, it's a matter of, yes, stepping out of your comfort zone. And number 2, trying something new. And there's nothing wrong if it doesn't work or get you the result that you want. There's nothing wrong in that because you're still going to learn something, right? If you stand on the sidelines and never jump into the game, you're never going to know the answer of whether that is an effective process for you. But if you try it and it doesn't work out, there's something great in that. And there's something empowering in that too. Don't lose sight of that. And don't let the fear motivate you. Having said that, there are other important things that I would say would factor into that type of campaign, financial concerns, just making sure that whatever type of campaign you launch puts you in a place where you can, be comfortable and not be panicked, because it can go in a lot of ways and you want to be prepared for, if you get great engagement, you want to financially be ready for that. I don't know if you remember the presentation from Mary Maloney. If any of you were able to see that when she gave her presentation on geographic farming. But what she actually does in some of her postcard mailings, if you'll remember, put a coupon for a free coffee on her postcard mailings. And she said, it's not the coffee. She said very few people actually take her up on the coffee component, but she does get business from it. The greater driving value is the invitation for the cup of coffee. Okay. So Sometimes it's about a person feeling the value in the invitation. It's not the actual end result, if that sort of makes sense. So think about it in that context too.
I did that. Yeah, I did that for my farm. I put like a little coupon, like a little $5 off coupon for the burger place down the street. I noticed that more, but again, and everybody has different takes on different things. Like some agents are like, oh no, when they redeem it, make sure you get their email or something from it, which I can get the point. I didn't do that with mine because again, it's like I learn things and I try to learn and implement. But people did bring it in, so that's good. Hopefully just by them holding on to the postcard, they'll remember me, down the road. But again, it's about consistency though. So
it's about consistency.
Coffee card is good too. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's about consistency, and it's about, that program that you're describing, you're talking about, it's not like a one-time event. And it's the same thing with referrals in general. Building your referral network is not a one-time event. It's a process. It's a relationship build that's going to take time to grow and expand and strengthen, so that if you have a referral to give or receive, you'll have those people all around you that are top of mind. So I would just say, if you're committed to it, in all of those layers, because it definitely sounds like something like that will require a significant more amount of management than, say, throwing a 30-second Facebook Live or a minute or two Facebook Live and challenging your friends to first 5 referrals, right? So it's different. So it's about, I think, identify how referrals fits into your funnels, how much weight you put in referrals compared to the other ways that you generate business. And then if referrals are where you're putting sort of a lot of your energy or emphasis, then absolutely just make sure that you have the resources to keep up with that program. And I think that you'll see great benefit from it.
Okay, I'm going to try. I don't know. I have a feeling that the other guys wouldn't have thought it was that great for some reason. I don't know. Because I think I'm a little bit more introverted. They seem, they're like, oh, go out, have drinks with the guys and go have a party. And I don't know, even just the thought of me going to a little, happy hour with friends I don't know. That's just not me. And I don't know, it will be interesting to see how my clients perceive this little gift card thing. And I guess we'll see.
I think I appreciate what you're saying very much, but I think that if you had said that to the guys, right, for lack of a better, I'll just refer to them as, if you had sort of pitched it to them, I think most importantly, what they encourage is that you do something that's authentic to you.
Right.
And we've kind of talked about that here too. The recipe cards, for example, they're not maybe fans of the recipe cards, but if that feels authentic to you and kind of more reflective and representative of your personality and your style, then that's what you do. If you put all your energy into activities like happy hours, for example, and you hate them, if it's uncomfortable for you or unpleasant for you, not that you shouldn't give it a try and sort of maybe work through what's inhibiting you a little bit. I don't want to discourage that, but at the same time, if it's not your forte, if it's not your first go-to activity, people around you will read that. Right. When you're doing something that you're comfortable with, that you enjoy, that's fun and motivating, people will feed off of that energy too. So don't be so worried, I think, about getting validation, right? You agree?
I agree with Diana 100%. I did the hummus recipe cards and I got a great feedback about it. And you know what? I was giving it out on in my open houses too. And people were like, where's the sample?
Yes, that's so good. You should do a tasting and whatever. See, that's more me. I of course I love wine, but I'm more I don't know. I'd rather go to one of those board places or painting places, or what you just said. That's a great idea with the hummus. You have to give me that recipe.
Rochelle, you know what we can do? We can just rent a booth at the Milltown Day. They have a Milltown Day festival.
Right.
And we can rent a booth and do stuff like that and give out our cards if you want.
All the community, all of them have those little, we need an umbrella, I think the one thing that
we can rent that.
Are you a solo? You're solo too, right, Sarah? Or are you under Jean?
I'm with Jean.
I'm with Jean. Okay. So with me, I'm totally solo. And I don't know, I go and see, and I've come from other offices, and I don't want to get off topic too much or whatever, but they have those big tents and everything with giveaways and all that, and I'm like, oh, I kind of miss that from being with a group, not a team necessarily, but something
So
like
we have room. We have
okay.
room.
But
Yay.
so
I mean, I
listen,
know Jean, I like Jean, so
but listen to what just happened is that what the two of you are talking about is leveraging one another to be referral partners and to work together.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be limiting because someone's on a team and someone's not. It doesn't have to be limiting because you're in two different counties. I don't know if you are in two different counties or not, but it's about leveraging one another in ways that maybe in your past environment, or just historically, you might have felt stood in the way. So absolutely. I think, I know I have an agent, on our team who swears by the postcards. She's by far the best agent in a particular 55 and over community. They love her postcards. They love her recipes. They keep them all. So it's about you, what you're comfortable with, knowing your market, right? And trying new things. If you send out a couple of recipe cards and you don't get a response, then maybe you rethink. Maybe you step back and evaluate maybe what might have caused it not to work and what you might change. So
thank you.
Those would be my recommendations, but most of all, try it.
Okay.
Jump into the game, and we want to hear how you make out.
Okay. Wish me luck.
Yes, yes.
Deanna,
So that's great. Yes. Hi, Lynette.
Hi. I find my challenge is to overthink things. And sometimes if you think about it long enough, you'll talk yourself out of it. And then I don't
Yes.
take action for something.
I absolutely, I'm not unlike you, Lynette. And you know how I solved that? I married Chris Brown because Chris Brown does not like to sit on the bench ever. So he's always in the game. And I think so to that point, I'm not saying, change the person that you're married to, but what I'm saying is sometimes
I think that's what she meant.
I'm saying sometimes you have to put yourself with people that are different from you, that think differently from you, and maybe operate with a little less fear or reservation than you do, because then they may help you find the confidence to take that first step, to jump off the diving board and just give it a go, and know that you'll be safe and you have people that you can come back to and analyze. And like I said, you learn from a mistake, you work through that mistake, and you come out better and more effective because of it. So don't let that discourage you. I would
What
say
do they
it's just
say? Feel the fear and do it anyway.
feel the fear.
Yeah.
Yep. Feel the fear. I heard something the other day. Success is in the struggle. So think about that one a little bit, and maybe it'll reframe what what's holding you back. So, okay. So let's take that energy and let's think about, now I've given you some tangible ways that you go out and work with your clients to get action, right? To provoke action. Let's talk about what you can be doing with professional referrals too. And remember what I said in the beginning, referrals work both ways. So you have the opportunity to give a referral or receive a referral. And you also have the opportunity, think about, as we go through this conversation, think about the people around you that you're interacting with professionally who might have broader reach in the work that they do. Okay. Because if they have broader reach and might have client needs that are outside of your immediate service area, there could be opportunity for you to become their go-to person. Okay. To say, you know what, I've had great experience working with Sarah. She's reliable, good communication, gets our deals to the finish line. I need to move into another county. I need to move into South Jersey. I need to move into Northern Jersey. I'm going to go to Sarah based on my relationship and experience with Sarah and see what she can do to help me get more work done in these other areas. There is one agent in particular, and I'll refer back to my team, who's a master at this, a master. He had a lead source that was expanding and was thrilled with his service level in the area that he was servicing in Southern New Jersey. And rather than try and reinvent the wheel and go find 10 other professionals just like him, They instead said, hey, can you help us? Do you have someone who works in this area? He stepped right in. He saw the opportunity. He didn't say no. He said yes. And then he leveraged this, vast 89, 90,000 agent network behind him to get it done and to monetize it for himself in the middle, providing great value to the lead source, great value to the agent, guiding the agent on how to best accommodate and please the lead source, and getting the deal to the finish line. So there's again, just think beyond what you might say is the more traditional path and recognize that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay. So let's talk about going even a little bit further on expanding your professional relationships. And what do I have here? Relationship required. This is not a step into the spotlight and everything is done kind of scenario. Referral networks take time, energy, effort, and intention to build. Okay. So one of the things that I think is really important, especially as we mentally move past COVID, it's not just about physically moving past COVID, but it's about mentally and getting ourselves into a place where we are intentionally interacting with people again. Zoom is great and it's fabulous, especially for situations like this where we can all come together and learn and share without having to take the time to all meet up in one place. That would be impractical. But don't think that every aspect of your business should be done this way. There's immense value in face-to-face, person-to-person, shaking hands and exchanging business cards, right? So again, it gives you the opportunity. And what I would say about events is when you plan, if you are the type of person that says, I can only do one event a month, one event a quarter, that type of thing. If you have those parameters, and you should, don't overextend yourself with any of these ideas. But if you are attending in-person events, try to make that event that you choose outside of your immediate geographic area if you can. Meet agents from other parts of the state, meet agents from other states. Or if it's just look for opportunities where the reach is broader, the attendance is broader. And that will, I think, be a valuable use of your time if you're specifically talking about building your referral network. Another thing I'd strongly consider, you have a question, Rochelle?
I'm just curious, do you go to a lot of the, I know EXP offers so many different conferences, and have you gone to any of them, and how are they?
I went to EXPCon in October. That was my second time going. Yes, in Vegas. Vegas is not my favorite place in and of itself, but the conference in October was fantastic. Fantastic for networking, fantastic for getting to, I do participate in a lot of different trainings and Zooms, and I have gotten to know a lot of people at the corporate level too, to make sure that we can provide resources to our teams, to our network when we need it. And to be able to meet those people in person was insanely valuable, insanely. And then for me personally, going and attending that event gave me the opportunity to set up some coaching training, which is for me very impactful. So in that case, absolutely. I'm going to attend shareholders. That'll be shareholders in May will be my first shareholder event. I have not attended that previously. But I think those types of events are just incredibly motivating, inspiring, try to layer in. I was able to, husband and wife from our team were out there, and they sort of layered in some personal time and vacation time in the middle of it. It can do so many things. But it doesn't have to be that extreme. The New Jersey Broker's Office is holding a spring kickoff event. I think it's the 30th of March. Don't quote me on that date, but again, a great opportunity to, how many of us have interacted with Jeff Kist or the other brokers but have never gotten to meet him in person? Utilize that and get to know agents from around the state. That's a great opportunity to expand your referral network and get to know people.
Are you going to that one? I'm going to that one. Yeah.
I'm going to try to go to that one. Yes. Is it the 30th?
It's in March. I want to say the end of March, March 30th or something like that. So
I think it's
again, something like that. I'm like, should I go or should I not? Only because that's kind of my area. I was hoping, you know, kind of like you were saying, I need to like get either south or north more because I mean, it's great. I know a lot of the agents already in our area, but you're right. It's important to kind of expand to, you know, North Jersey and New York and South Jersey.
Certainly. But an event like that, that's not specifically, you know, advertised as a, what is that? Is that Middlesex County?
It's Middlesex. Yeah. I just
Middlesex
hope
County.
people from the
It's
north
in
and
East
south will come.
Brunswick.
Come.
Yeah, I
Right.
think
And,
Michelle just put the
Hilton at
information in the
our
chat.
center.
Oh,
good.
great. Thank
Thank
you. Oh, great. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for that. She's always so on point. She's always got the information at the ready. She's awesome. Yeah, so something like that I encourage because you're there, you're accomplishing a few different things. You're getting to know some of the staff and like corporate resources that can provide support to you, that if, you know, if you have a need or an issue or whatever, then having met that person is going to just improve and enhance any conversation or communication you have going forward. But the opportunity, you know, that the invitation has been extended to all 3,000 agents in New Jersey. So hopefully it will certainly extend, you know, beyond Middlesex County agents. So yeah, and now you've motivated me, Rochelle. So now I'm going to try and make sure I can put that on my calendar. So that's great. So, but the other thing too that you could do is, again, trying to move out of and grow your reach, join a networking group where you get to know professionals in other lines of business. And so again, building on what was said yesterday, talking about, you know, attorneys and financial advisors who might have real estate needs, don't stop there and identify something. I encourage, identify a group that would be meaningful to you, because the more you enjoy the networking group, the less it feels like work. So if you enjoy a women's group, find a women's networking group. If you enjoy something giving back to your community, find a community group. If you enjoy, you know, building something and see that there is no local civic association or entrepreneur group in your town or in your area, start something. You know, find a few entrepreneurial friends and see if you might have an interest in creating something. There's opportunity there. And it's important, again, in the broad picture to recognize and not overlook how impactful that can be in your business and in getting referrals. And then I mentioned, don't just limit yourself to your individual geography, right? Think outside the box. And when somebody comes to you with an inquiry about a referral or possible source of business, instead of immediately offering a no, think about, what would I have to do to be able to answer yes? Okay. Just frame it a little bit differently, right?
I like that. Yeah.
So, okay. So now having said that,
I'm actually in a situation right now, Diana, with that. Somebody reached out to me. She's pre-approved. She's ready. She's willing. She's so sweet. She works with my brother. She's a doctor in one of the universities here in New Jersey. Her and her husband, they want to buy a farmhouse. And I have no experience in that. And I'm thinking, let me refer her out, right? But then, like you said, maybe I should sit down and think who sold a farmhouse in my network and try to learn a thing or two from them. And oh, you did, Rochelle?
No, talk to Judith. Judith had a farmhouse in Somerset. I don't know if it ever sold, but there you go.
Maybe we can partner up instead of giving it away. And this way I'll learn for the future. Yeah. That's a good one, Rochelle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so again, in that mindset of, instead of just immediately going with the no, what would I have to do to be able to take on that client? Well, let me reach out. You have a network here, an intimate network, I would say. I describe it. You may not know every one of the 400 people, but I would describe that as an intimate, hands-on network where everyone is engaged and willing to share and participate in a very like local way. I don't know if that's the exact right adjective that I want, but you know, and so leverage that, embrace that. There are so many great things with like Fast Forward, for example, tremendous value there. But that's maybe one component that's sometimes missing, is that you know that they're going to maybe be able to speak to sort of the West Coast or Western part of the country mindset. Oftentimes you have all of these local resources who understand this market. So yes, take the no, throw it out the window and go with the yes, find some resources, and absolutely you can help that client find their farmhouse for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
For sure. Come back here and we're going to take a picture with you and the farmhouse and everybody on the Zoom. All right, great. So that's awesome. So one of the things I've maybe mentioned this in different trainings, I certainly refer you, I know, frequently with a lot of EXP's programs to Workplace, but it's really important that you realize how valuable Workplace is as a networking tool and as a referral source. And it's free. You're already paying for it. And so think about where we are so far in the conversation, you know, in 35 or 40 minutes, that we're talking about really you and the elbow grease of building these connections and making these relationships and knowing what tools to use. We're not necessarily talking about huge financial investment, other than maybe the coffee card concept and what Rochelle was describing with her referral platform. But outside of that, it's just really about knowing where to plug in. Okay. So let's just take a look. I want to just, for a few minutes, just think about, are any of you actively in Workplace? Or maybe before I even do that, are any of you actively on Facebook? And if you are, would you be willing to tell me about how many minutes a day you spend on Facebook? I don't mean to put anybody on the spot.
Well, I'll talk
Hello,
about
guys.
Go ahead.
Oh, hi.
At least a half hour or more every day.
Okay. So Lynette is a half hour on Facebook. Rochelle?
I was very active on Facebook, but back in August, I got hacked. So I lost everything. So it's amazing to see like the difference. So back then, you realize like, oh my God, you're addicted. You know, I would go to my little app and try to click on it. And so then eventually, I was like, that's it. I'm not even going on Facebook. But it's like that love-hate thing, because everyone in our business, they're like, oh, fast forward movements, the videos, everything is, oh, you got to go watch the replay on Facebook. I'm like, oh, so I think by December, I went back on again. So I'm starting everything from scratch. I like literally went from thousands of friends to like, I don't even think I have 200 now. So it's harder for me to like try to get the momentum, because everybody thinks that I'm not, they were like, well, that's not the real Rochelle, because, I'm already friends with her, whatever. But the bottom line is the productivity. It's weird. Like, I feel like you can see it on your screen. It'll say, oh, your screen time is down by, whatever. And now my screen time that I'm back on again is like up 90%, which is kind of scary because, I don't know. Anyway, so I spend a lot of time on Facebook.
A lot
To
of
answer
time.
your question.
A lot of time. And Jennifer, were you going to say the same thing? A lot of time?
Yes.
Well, I've been using Workplace more, and it's helping me just kind of like build my referral network, just talking to more agents all over. So I had, a lender reach out to me regarding a buyer, and he's like, hey, Jen, do you have somebody in Panama Beach City? I said, I can find you somebody. And I just sent out that, mass message, and I had so many agents just contacting me. So it was nice. So I said, okay, well, I connected one agent with the lender, and now I have all these other agents that I know that if I have a referral in that area, I can reach out to one of those.
Perfect.
So
now let me ask you, I'm going to test you now. Did you get a referral agreement with the other agent?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Perfect. And it's our model here, if you're all EXP, lends so well to referrals because it's one brokerage, one processing system, and everybody is familiar with the same referral document. So when you are referring out, when you are giving a client to someone else, make sure you take that extra responsible step to secure a referral agreement, right? And then if you can provide support to that other agent or check in regularly, do it. But at the onset, make sure that you're protecting your financial interest in that give. Okay. But so definitely, I'm so glad that you said that, Jennifer, because Workplace is, if you are spending that much time on Facebook, what I'm going to challenge you to do is take 5 or 10 minutes of that time and devote it to referral surfing in Workplace every day. So all I'm saying is take 5 minutes out of the Facebook column, put 5 minutes into the workplace column, and just play around a little bit. First thing I'll tell you is that every state in the US has a referral group. Okay, so every state has their state group, and then every state has a referral group. State group, like here, if you, hopefully you're already plugged into the state group, this is going to be for agents who are licensed in New Jersey. Okay, so if I'm licensed in Florida and I have a client that needs to buy a house in New Jersey, they are not going to be able to get in here to find New Jersey agents. This is only for New Jersey licensed agents. What you want to find is the referral group, and that's very easy to do. You just search. And the referral groups are typically open groups. Sometimes they're closed, oftentimes open, but very easy access. You're not limited by where you're licensed in the state of New Jersey. So if it is a closed group, all you have to do is request to join, and you should get access pretty quickly. And then you can post your referral asking for an agent's help right in the chat, just like you would post something on Facebook. It's no different. Okay. It's the same idea. You can do this within New Jersey, but like I said, let's say you have, to Jennifer's point, she had a Florida referral. So did you go to the Florida referral group, Jennifer?
I sure did. I did all over New Jersey, Florida. They had like different groups. So like what you just did, I just put in Florida referral, and there's some open and closed. And I went to all that were open, put the message in there. And then any ones that were closed, I just asked for, an invitation to welcome me in. So yes, that's the one I got into. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So if I can just circle back for a second, the resource on our team, who's such a kick butt in the referral arena, leverages workplace to get to know agents and to build out a referral network. And in his case, I think he specifically strategizes to find agents that are similar to him and to his work style. Because again, the whole reason that he's receiving leads is because he's got an established reputation for how to manage them. So he's looking for people that kind of have a similar mindset and a similar management style, so that they can deliver much the same experience from their part of the country. But so if you have a referral to give, this is a great place to go. So take 1 or 2 minutes if you have somebody and use it towards that. The other thing that I'll tell you is if you don't have a need in the moment to give a referral, let's talk about where you can go to receive a referral. Let's go to the referral group for New Jersey. So let's take a look. Just yesterday, and I was on this yesterday, and I'm kind of upset, but it's also proving my point. Poor Eric came on here 18 hours ago, and he still doesn't have anybody who's picking up saying, I'm going to reach out to you on this lead. Okay. It's a rental, a $2,000 rental, and he needs some help in an area that he doesn't serve. This is great. If you feel frustrated right now because you don't have things in your pipeline, then get on this referral group and engage, look for opportunity, and get off the sideline. Okay. Don't be restricted by the fact that, well, I'm going to be picky here and not pick up a $2,000 rental. Embrace it. See it as an opportunity. And you never know where that referral, that relationship can lead to. Okay. Not just with the client. That might lead to another client, but what about you working with Eric to pick up that referral? Where might that lead? You never know. The other thing you can do within these referral groups is make yourself available if you want to learn or try to pick up buyers. There are some agents, there are actually still plenty of agents that just don't enjoy the open house process, or they don't want to work an open house alone. So put yourself out there as someone who's available to work open houses. Let people know what area you're working in, when you're available. Here we go. My friend Christina Duncan, putting it out there for people on her team, trying to get them connected with open house opportunities to get exposure, experience, build rapport with other agents, and get some practice, right, with buyers. So another way that you can leverage workplace. Another thing that I'll mention that I think is beyond just the state referral groups is I call it the SIC groups in workplace. Just like Facebook, so I know you have these groups in Facebook, find the groups in workplace, SIC, something in common. there are plenty of groups that form based on a common purpose or a common mission. So for example, there's Power Girls, right? So again, if that's something that's important and meaningful to you, then go there, plug into Power Girls and look for referral opportunities with other agents, other female agents that plug into that group as well. There's One EXP. So, if you're looking to build your Spanish speaking referral network and you know that a lot of agents participate in One EXP, that's something that not only are you going to get personal value in participating and contributing to a SIC, right? Something in common group, but it's another referral opportunity. So don't discount how valuable and powerful this tool can be for you and for your ability to build out your referral network. And it's free. And by the way, we've already said you're already spending the minutes on social media. So, take a few minutes away from those reels, those rabbit hole reels on Instagram, and instead focus here where it can actually, really give you some value in your business. So, Christine, fantastic. You go into workplace every day.
Sarah needs to stop watching TikTok.
There you go, Sarah. Christine, I'm just reading your comment. So I appreciate what you're saying, that some areas might be quieter than others in this space, but that's where I would say there's tremendous opportunity as well. If you spend 5 minutes a day here in this forum, you will get to know other agents around the state that are plugged in. And if your neck of the woods is quiet, because I know just here, if you're out in Toms River, I know just Michelle and Vicky here are not, they're in close proximity to you, and they are actively, working that area as well. So if you don't see a lot of people in that space here, that's good opportunity for you to be the person. Because the other thing that you can do, just like you can do on Facebook, is you can search within these groups. So if I were an agent looking to give a referral to, let's say, let's pick somewhere warm like Key West, and I went to that Florida group, the first thing I might do before I start scrolling or post, I might actually go and search Key West. So for you, if you're spending that 5 minutes a day, maybe once a week, you go into the group and actually post something. Hey, I'm available to receive your Toms River referrals. Hey, I'm ready to help you with an open house in Toms River, or whatever the location might be. But just again, action. What we're talking about with all of this is that action is going to breed results. Just sitting back and hoping that you receive a referral is not enough. So that's what I would encourage you to do. All right, great. So let's head back here. So, and these were some ideas. This is just from within the last week to give you context, and just within New Jersey. So if I just pulled these couple of things from within the last week, imagine what's out there across the country, right? And like I said, in these SIC groups, the something in common groups, okay? Another thing that I've seen leveraged very heavily and gaining more and more traction is military network across workplace and within EXP. And there's a very purposeful effort right now about expanding the military network. So if you have military experience and want to tap into that, let me know. I can provide you with some direction there. Okay. So again, it's about leveraging these tools, leverage and action. The one other thing that I just want to mention today, because we're kind of getting a little bit close to 11 o'clock, is this one last place that you can do for free. I know that you can pay to expand your account, but you don't have to. You can connect on LinkedIn. I think, in my opinion, and I had this conversation with Jean not too long ago, LinkedIn is, I think, in our space and in the context of referrals, a very undervalued resource. We see the flood of real estate content in other platforms like Facebook and Instagram and maybe even TikTok too. But I think LinkedIn, if you're looking about professional relationship building, is something you shouldn't discount. If you don't have an active presence there, consider take another 5 minutes out of your social media column from every day of the week, and you've just found 35 minutes to devote to building a profile, week 1. And then every week after that, spend 35 minutes just going through and connecting with people on LinkedIn. Think about everybody that you met last week and go back and connect with them on LinkedIn. Think about things that you're curious about, want to learn about, and go find people in that space and connect with them on LinkedIn. These are ways that you're being purposeful in building your referral network. Does me doing that today on LinkedIn guarantee me a referral by the end of the week? No, it doesn't. But it nurtures, it expands your reach, and gives you the opportunity to build relationship. That's the whole goal in our conversation today, is that hopefully you recognize that it's the action and the intention to build relationship that's going to benefit you if you're talking about referrals being a tangible source of business for you. Anybody? Perfect.
I'm going to create my profile today.
In LinkedIn.
Yeah, because I don't have one. You know, I
Excellent.
forgot about it. I just forgot.
I'm telling you, it's incredibly underrated. And one of the things that I intend to focus heavily on for 2023 is utilizing LinkedIn for team growth and network growth and connecting with people that way. But there really is a lot of relationship happening in that space. So don't get left out in that one.
Deanna, don't you feel like it changed a little bit too throughout the years? I feel I haven't been on LinkedIn in a long time, and then I went on recently, and it's a little bit more like Facebook now. With it's a little bit warmer. I think it used to be all business. It's different now.
And you know what? It used to almost feel like a postcard, or it's not a postcard, but a business card billboard to me.
Yeah.
And now yes. It feels like it very much has that interactive component where it encourages actual communication between people and exchanging skills and getting to learn about other spaces and being resourceful to one another. So I agree. It definitely has evolved. And it's definitely gotten a little sexier too, if we have to say it. Okay, so what I'll close with today, and then we have a couple of minutes if anybody has any questions or comments or advice that you want to offer, but we've talked about all these different things. There's a lot of action opportunity for you in here to take something, not to take everything, but take something meaningful away and incorporate it into your business. But examine your world with a magnifying glass. Stop limiting, where you're looking for business. Think about everything that's going on in your world. If you have, and I'm going to rattle off a few people, and I'm just, again, thinking of people on my team, and Jennifer, we have somebody, an entrepreneur with a dog walking business, natural client base that can feed into real estate needs. I have somebody who does makeup for brides, primarily for weddings. Hello, do we have to talk about how that's a natural lead source? Having that lender lead source, being a coach, participating in, a theater or drama club, put yourself out there, take a very close look at all the places where you interact with people in your life and ask yourself, don't say, I don't want to ask for business. Say, how would it look if I asked for business? But there goes how would it look if I asked for referrals? It doesn't have to, it doesn't have to hurt, but it's okay if it stretches you a little bit. Okay. It shouldn't hurt, but it's okay if it feels a little bit uncomfortable, because I promise you, like with anything new, after that first, those first couple of times, you're either going to learn and change and, reevaluate what's working, or it's going to work and your confidence is going to build. So in either case, you're winning there. Okay. So think about all of those sources, all of those places where you interact with people, and make your services available. You are in a service business. You are in a relationship business. Don't be concerned about being forward about that and being upfront about it. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts or comments? Am I going to find all of you on LinkedIn today? Hi, Lynette, is that you?
No,
Yes, I'm on
Inez.
LinkedIn,
Oh.
Yeah. A good, Lynette. Good job. Go ahead, Inez.
but I need to update my profile. And I find it interesting, if you look at other agents' profiles, it'll give you a lot of ideas how to structure yours.
Yes. That's an absolutely great point, Lynette. There's no reason to have to reinvent the wheel. It's just like what we do in collaboration on our Tuesday masterminds, or if you plug into Fast Forward, you're looking to get ideas and inspiration and find something that you can relate to. So then you can turn around and relate to other people in a similar way. So absolutely. Inez, what were you going to say?
that I agree with all what you said. And I participate on township events. I participate on LinkedIn. I have been there for years, and it gives you exposure. And it might not be immediate, like you said, but it gives you exposure. I mean, one lady I met a long time ago at event, and she just called me, yeah, I'm competing with another agent for the listing, but she kept my information. And after at least 5 years.
Yep.
And things like that, it give you, people see you around, see that you exist, and you have to be everywhere. The thing is time. Time is valuable. Time is gold. If you don't have, you have to devote a little bit of here, a little bit of there, because there's so much out there, and you can dilute yourself. It's very hard to do everything. So you have to a little bit here, a little bit there, but try to focus on what gives you the most revenue.
I absolutely thank you very much for that. And as you can't be more correct that it does, you can easily overextend yourself. So that's why when we talk about things today, what am I saying in the same breath? Don't go back and try and do everything and be everything. Pick one or two things that are meaningful, that are also like serve multiple purposes, that you don't just feel professional fulfillment in participating in a business association or a civic association or a cause, but you also get personal gratification, because then you're really being, I think, not efficient. I don't want to say efficient, but effective with your time, right? You're checking off. If you think about life as having all these different pieces of the pie, if you can satisfy multiple pieces of the pie at the same time, if you can, help your health, improve your health and improve your business at the same time, wouldn't you want to do that? So think about activities that are serving multiple components of your life simultaneously. The other thing that I will tell you about Inez is that she is a master at sort of referral and network building, to the point where she is so invested in relationships. She regularly receives invitations to dinner. She goes to the baby showers. She gets invited to the bridal showers. And it's because she's always in a mindset of relationship building. Okay. So
I had an invitation this past Saturday, and we ended up, believe it or not, 4:00 in the morning. And I never do that. We ended up watching a show, and like, I gotta work tomorrow, I told her.
Inez, we've scrapped our plans. We're not going to do investors next week. Next week, we're going to talk about how to say no.
It's like, I was like, I gotta go. And they said, we should do this like a regular thing now. Yeah. And I was like thinking to myself, I can't do this, because you gotta work. And then the other thing is, you don't have to focus just on this country. I just attended a seminar this morning, and they were so interesting. I belong to not just one, probably 25 groups, and I do it international too, just to see what other people. And I comment, hey, if you ever need anything here, you did great presentation. If you ever need anything from Jersey or here, just reach out.
Great job.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Would they do it? I don't know. But hey,
you're planting a seed.
Plant the seeds. And how long did it take her? 20 seconds, 30 seconds to leave a comment, right? To give someone good feedback. And
yeah, some of the Canadian guys, because I met a lot of Canadian guys. They are,
EXPCon.
yeah, you know that.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
I had
think
a great
Inez,
time there, by the way.
how many states, so going back to what Rochelle was asking before, how many agents from how many states did you meet and countries at EXPCon?
I met a lot.
She's
I
the
met
master of
55,
relationship.
57 people.
Wow.
And those are people that she exchanged business cards with, followed up when she came home. So again,
Yeah.
Building relationship, planting the seeds to what Sarah said.
And every once in a
I
while,
wrote a lot of homework for today. Oh my goodness.
too.
At least I have like 5 things to do.
that's the
good. It
thing.
was
It's
a
a
good
never-ending
class.
story.
Yeah.
Now like I go into some of them and it's like, oh, I love that house that you just listed. It kind of like to be present. And then I wish you a great 2023. Seems like you did wonderful. Like he's raising, growing an Indian team in Canada.
Oh,
And
interesting.
huh?
Interesting.
Yeah. And so then and sometimes he posts dances and stuff, and some of the houses and the way the presentations he does. So I said, you're doing great. I love what you post. And he's like, thank you so much. I wish you the same success. Kind of like you stay in touch. Just
Yes.
connect.
Yeah, I agree.
Connect. Action. Action. Don't just sit and scroll. What action can you be taking to put yourself out there? So that's probably the big takeaway for today. And I appreciate your contribution, Inez, and everybody's contribution and feedback. So the goal for today is find something, even if it's just, one thing from today where you can take action to do something a little bit different and stretch yourself a little bit to work on your referral network too. And remember, we start next week. We're going to dive into investors. And I really am so looking forward to having a variety of voices and hearing from some people that you haven't heard from in these forums before. So look for an email to come out where we will announce who all of those speakers are, but that'll be the next 4 Wednesdays, every Wednesday in February. We'll be posting this on the Dropbox and YouTube, and I'll send out a link when it's available. It might take a day or 2 this week, but it'll be there. So thank you all so much. Hope you got some value out of this. And if you did, I want to hear what you did. So let me know when you get that email from me telling you the recording is ready. I want an email back hearing what your win is from all of this. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. You have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.